How's everybody doing? Thanks for tuning in. That was called Inner Peace Ballad Guitar Backing Track Jam in G. Hey Abby, thanks for tuning in. Noah says play Wonderwall. That is a forbidden song, but I appreciate it. What's up? Avenged Sevenfold, please. Yeah, maybe I can get to some Avenged Sevenfold. Does the audio sound decent though, guys? Let me know what it sounds like. Just gonna pull up another backing track quick. Nice haircut. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Lily W is saying Cliffs of Dover, please. Yeah, let's do some cliffs. Let's do that. Raymond says master skills. Appreciate that. Thank you. What's up, Jack? How you doing? max score on Guitar Hero for sure. Appreciate that, Raymond. Thank you. I've never played Guitar Hero before, but I'll take your word for it. W says you've become a master. Thank you. Let's see. What is Muhammad saying? 4 months into guitar, still chords buzz. What to do? Yeah, I mean, I guess your finger strength just has to grow a little bit. Sometimes it helps to start on a classical guitar with nylon strings. Sometimes that can make it a little easier to ease into strengthening your fingers. But yeah, so I would say maybe just try exercises where you're kind of like just pressing down on the fretboard, just kind of like going. Any tips for absolute beginners? Yeah, learn songs you want to know, like learn the chords to songs. Like if you want to learn a song, usually the chords won't be too hard. Most songs just have like a 1, 4, 5, maybe a minor 2 type of progression, which those chords are not very hard to learn. So yeah, you can just learn songs. And then you can get into shredding if that's something you'd be into learning. It's not as hard as it looks. Hey, Rudy, appreciate the subscription. That means a lot. Raymond, appreciate you. Brody, the super shredder. Bro, you are amazing, man. Thanks so much, bro. Appreciate that. Hello, welcome. I appreciate the sub. Bin Bin. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Alvin, appreciate you, bro. Master of all shred. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. I sound like Steve Vai. Steve Vai is one of my many favorite players. I love Steve Vai. Hopefully the audio sounds good. Unless you guys have any requests, I'll probably just keep... appreciate you, Alvin. Unless you guys have any requests, I'll probably just keep doing backing tracks. I'm from New York. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Let's see. Looking for a strat to buy for good budget. What do I recommend? This is a player series, and this is really really good. It's in the $6 to $800 range. I don't know what your budget is, but this is really good. This has served me well. Alternatively, if you can't afford that, there's also like honestly Squires. They're not too bad either. Like I'll get my Squire really quick, and you'll hear it, and it probably won't even sound too much different. Okay, so you guys are good. You're doing a lot of comments here. Let's see. still have my Les Paul, but wanted something new. Oh yeah, the Strat's good to mix it up. Nirvana, yeah, I could do a little Nirvana potentially. No, this actually is not a wah pedal with my foot. This is just a little cheesy built-in effect into the Boss Katana. I do have a wah-wah pedal with my other rig, but I'm not using it right now. Jimmy Johnson. That's funny, Feisty Kitty. Improvise over a backing track. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Well, not maybe since you tuned in, but I'll do another one quick. Let's see. Let's do another one quick. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. I appreciate it. Alrighty, that was cool. Somebody asked what the song was. That was just a backing track. That was called Epic Cinematic Guitar Backing Track in G minor. Get the guitar from the back. Do you mean my Les Paul? Why is the hair gone? Yeah, sorry, God of War specialist. Good to see you, Gene. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I had the hair for a long time. Summertime came around, and I felt like it was time to cut it. So, I apologize if I made anybody angry. I appreciate you guys for listening, though. Why do I keep shouting? I'm sorry if I'm shouting. I guess I didn't know if I was. It is almost 5 o'clock here. Tobias was not talking to me. Oh, I see what you're saying now, Tobias. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disappoint you, God of War specialist. I guess I just felt like cutting it. It's really early in the morning for you. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure I'm reading it. I actually don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Bin Bin? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's early in the morning for you. Color my face blue? Why? You want me to look like I'm from Avatar or something? playing in a band? I am in a band. Our band is called Earth to May May. Here, I can type it in the chat quick. That's our band name. Ben, thank you. Ahmed said, I remember you from the Jared Dine Shred collab. Yeah, I entered that thing. That was cool. I remember that. He didn't actually come out with the Shred collab yet, I don't think, though. Let's see. How do I practice phrasing and melodic vocabulary? When I'm doing like more of the melodic stuff where I'm playing like I'm really thinking of sometimes I'm thinking of almost arpeggios, like where I'd be doing spaced out stuff, like not the kind of arpeggios where it's like not those kinds of arpeggios, but like almost interval type arpeggios where I'm going. That will always make your phrasing really interesting. It's almost an Eric Johnson type thing where you hit a low bass note and then hit a high note. That will always sound really interesting. And then the rest of my phrasing will just be stuff I'm humming in my head. For example, if I want to play like da 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 da, I'll just go. Right? So the phrasing kind of just, some of it's hummed, some of it's almost Eric Johnson type. He calls it like piano type style where you're playing a low bass note and then you play up here. So it would be kind of like. No, and then you can kind of hum these melodies up for the top parts. Thanks, man. Sounds killer, dude. Thanks, bro. What about the shredding? Do you think about it, or is it kind of just muscle memory? So there are certain parts I think about, and then there are other parts that are just muscle memory. Obviously, for stuff that's like on streams, I'm playing mostly muscle memory because I don't want to mess up. But sometimes I'll just really focus on playing new lines, new really fast lines and stuff. But mostly the stuff you're hearing on the stream will be muscle memory. A line like. That's very natural for me to do. It's not necessarily planned out. Like, I didn't know I was going to do that right then. But it's like in there. Like, it's not something I have to like practice to get down. So I've played a lot of fast lines, so it's not too tricky for me to use already existing patterns that are in my vocabulary and turn them into something slightly different, if that makes sense. A really good technique, actually, for shredding, a really good thing to get down for shredding, is if you're playing an alternate picking line that's really fast and you start losing it, you can kind of feel when you're going to start to lose it. Like if I. You can turn into a legato part. So if you feel like you're starting to lose control of the alternate picking, you can start just kind of letting your hands play a legato part. Like you can be like. And that should give you time to be able to get back into the alternate picking mode. So that's a really good thing I do sometimes. And it sounds cool. You don't really notice that it's not even alternate picking sometimes. Sometimes it just sounds like it's alternate picking the whole time. So that's what I would say to that. That's kind of a long-winded answer, but yeah, some of it's muscle memory, some of it's improvised. Probably most of what you're hearing is patterns I've played before. Appreciate you, Leroy. Thanks for the questions. Those are really good questions. I've played guitar since I was quite little, but I really started getting into it probably in my teen years, a little earlier, maybe my tween years. I started kind of really getting into it. So. I forgot to answer one question I saw in the chat. I don't know if the person who asked it is still here, but if you are, somebody asked what kind of guitar this is. Wire, Stratocaster. It's like really cheap. I think they go for like tops $200. This isn't my main guitar, but it really gets the job done, honestly. It's not too bad. What's my alternate picking practice like? Your right hand technique looks similar to Paul Gilbert's. How many strats do I have? I have 2 strats. Play solo, I don't know what that is. Sorry, Logan. But yeah, to answer Leroy's question, my alternate picking technique, what I basically do is I arch my hand. I arch it just like, I'm going to try to get a good angle. I arch it just a little bit because I find that gives me the best alternate picking position. Downfall is a little trickier to sometimes, but if you lean in a little bit. Mute, I'll just go like this. But it's really comfortable for me to alternate pick in this position, like a really wide position. And then I don't know if you saw that there, but I just switched into legato for a second. And what I did is I actually just noticed I actually switched into a legato position. So I have my alternate picking position. And watch, you'll see that's what my legato position looks like. It's like resting here, muting the strings down here. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not necessarily doing the best job of showing you the screen, but hopefully you can tell what's going on there. I think it's the important thing with alternate picking is just to get a position that's comfortable for you. Like, you don't want to be uncomfortable when you're alternate picking. You want to be very relaxed, and like it has to be very natural. And so I just have an alternate picking position, and then I don't even think twice about it. If I switch into a legato position, my hand just naturally legato type style. It kind of just like goes into the more relaxed. Yeah, the one challenge I had to overcome with my particular positioning of my hand in my alternate picking was getting better at muting, because it wasn't the most conducive to muting, and I just had to overcome that. And I feel like I did. I think I can mute with relative ease. What Fender model is this? This is just a Squire. This is not my usual guitar, but I'm playing it now because somebody asked me about it in the chat, and so I just started playing it. Yeah, so I think I already answered your question. I'm trying to think, how many strats do I have? 2 strats. Sorry, I apologize, Millie. But yeah, I have 2 strats. One is a Player Series, and then the other one is this one. The other one is this one, which is just a Squire. I love the blues. I have a question, as I am also practicing shredding and scales, but both of my hands are not synced when playing alternate picking, so please recommend what to practice the most. Okay, that's really important. That's a really important question. So basically, when I'm alternate picking, you have to really practice hand synchronization, and that's obviously really important because you don't want to be picking something over here and then your left hand isn't reflecting that, or your picking hand, or I'm sorry, your fret hand. So what you can do is you get a hand position that feels right and just try to pick as fast as you can with it. This is actually something that Andy Wood talked about. If you haven't already checked out Andy Wood's channel, I'd recommend him because he's really great. He goes in depth with like how to find what right hand position is best for your alternate picking. I think he's done some stuff with Troy Grady as well, who's really good. I think it's called Cracking the Code, Troy Grady's channel. It's really good. But what you have to do, I'll try to summarize kind of what they say quickly, but I pretty much think they have a good technique. What you do is you just try to alternate pick as fast as you can. And what'll happen is it'll be really sloppy at first. Like, it'll sound like... But the goal with that, even though it seems counterintuitive, you're not working on making it clean just yet. Just get a hand technique where you can move really, really fast back and forth. And so whatever that may be, even if you're not even practicing notes, just pick one note and just go. Just get really, really fast with your hand, even if it doesn't sound clean. And then what you can do is start integrating cleanliness in later. And so what'll happen is you just practice lines that are tricky for you to play. For example, if this is a hard line for you to play, you practice it over and over again with your fast hand technique. And at first, it may sound like this. It may sound terrible at first, but that's kind of all part of it. You have to get a fast hand technique first, because if you can't move your pick back and forth fast, then you're never going to be able to pick fast. So the most important thing is making sure you can alternate pick fast, making sure you have the capacity with your technique to go there. And then what you do is make it clean afterwards by just practicing lines that are difficult for you. Maybe get a metronome, or maybe just pick as fast as you can. Push it to the limits. Maybe up it if you can pick at 120 BPM. Maybe try 130 and just push it. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Basically, start on one string. Just pick as fast as you can. Try different picking hand techniques. Maybe some will be faster than others. Whatever you feel the fastest with, do that one. Sometimes the fingering hand gets faster, and sometimes the picking hand gets faster. So I searched the most of the time using web for solution and found that, but they are more advanced. Wait, so let me see. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Appreciate you, J-Rod. Thanks. I'm trying to understand your question. Let's see. Sometimes the fingering hand gets faster, and sometimes the picking hand gets faster. Yeah, so that's just hand synchronization. That takes time. I think what you have to do is I don't know if there's a short way around it. People hate it when you say this, but I think you just have to practice hand synchronization. And the best way to do that is just pick one line, any line, and just play it over and over and over and over and over again, and try to get it clean. The human brain is an amazing thing. If you play something enough times, you will find a pathway, right? Like, you will learn what to do. Your body will just figure out what you need to do. And that's why I think it's important just to train your hands to be able to play fast, even if it feels like it's not clean. You just play it, and your muscle memory will do the rest. Ben says my fingers move so fast. Appreciate that. Takes time. Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. I'm not trying to be confusing, honestly. I think it's just, it takes practice. How about your approach to voice leading? Do you think of the chord names and shapes, or do you rely on your ear to hit chord tones? I do the latter, but I feel like I could be missing out. That's a really good question. To be honest, I would say, like you, I probably lean towards using my ear. But that's because, hey, what's up, Lester? How you doing, bro? Thanks for listening. Thanks for such advice. I will remember for the rest of the time while practicing. All right, cool, Geeks Hell. Yeah, but to answer what Leroy's saying, I would probably say I lean more towards focusing in my ear. However, I do occasionally think of shapes and chord names and stuff depending on what it may be that I'm playing. Like, for example, if I'm doing something like this that is just very chordal, I'll naturally think about it. Like if I'm doing I actually thought about every triad I played there. I thought about the chords. Like, this is an E minor triad. This would be a C. And so I'm thinking about that there. But I guess it depends on the lines. I think some lines are more conducive to thinking about it quarterly, and other lines are more work better if you think about the melodies. So I think it depends. But most of my playing I probably depend on thinking about cool melodies like that. Right at the end there, I don't know if you caught that, I actually thought about playing a C there. So that was like a C. So I did think about that. Yeah, very Eric Johnson / Andy Timmons sounding. Yeah, I love that kind of almost you kind of dodge in and out between playing just single notes with cool melodies, and then you can highlight the melodies you're playing with the chords. Yeah, thanks for showing up, Lester. That's awesome. I appreciate you tuning in. And also a gear question. For a budget, which one is better? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat knows. I have honestly no clue, but maybe someone in the chat could help you with that. For my gear, right now I'm using I'm just using the Boss Katana. It's not the best amp ever, definitely not, but it gets the job done. Honestly, I can't complain. My usual rig would be a Marshall DSL-40C tube amp, which would it's my favorite amp. I love playing through that. And then I'll use a Line 6 sometimes. I don't use the DI tone because I don't think the model I have, the Pod X3 Live, has the best. Yeah, I don't think the Pod X3 Live has the best DI sound, but it works well if you put it through the tube amp and then play like that. And then I'll also occasionally use like a blues driver or something like that. Looks like Lester recommended J-Rod watch my channel. Appreciate that, Lester, and I appreciate you, J-Rod, for tuning in. You guys are great. Any tube amp or amp sims? No, I don't really use simulations. I kind of just... I still just use an amp. Yep, I cut my hair. Yeah, if you guys probably already know who Lester is, but if you haven't checked Lester Mitchell out, he's a great player as well, so check him out. Dude, you cut your hair yet? Do I sing now as well? I sing sometimes. I probably won't sing today, though, because I've been doing a lot of talking. Lester says, thanks, man. I'm just a nerd. Hey, join the club. We're all nerds here. Yep, we're all guitar nerds. Yeah, Lester definitely will not disappoint. That's for sure. Ben wants to hear me sing a song. I don't know. My voice is kind of tired right now. I would sing, but maybe next time. I plan on doing a stream tomorrow, you guys. So maybe I can sing something tomorrow. In fact, I can plan on that. But yeah, I'll probably stream tomorrow as well, just because the weather's not supposed to be too nice outside, so I won't be able to busk or anything. I'll just be probably indoors. All right, I'll probably do one more backing track here, and then call it. This was a fun stream, though, you guys. I appreciate it. I don't know if you guys saw that. I kept trying to do this lick and messing it up. I was trying to go. I'm not exactly sure what I was trying to do. It was something along those lines, though. Like something like... Yeah, it's definitely very Steve Vai. You definitely play like someone with much more years. Oh, thanks, J-Rod. Sounds great. All right, very cool. I appreciate you guys. Did I cut my hair? Yeah, short and sassy. I cut it off. Hopefully you guys don't hate me for that. Yeah, that line, I feel like I'm going to be practicing that a little bit after the stream because I kept trying to do it and messing it up. Cheyenne Singh says, "Hey Luke, nice haircut. Thank you." Sana and Short and Sassy both say they like it. Very cool. The hair isn't what makes this man great. That's a good one. You still shred? Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, if this were like a hair channel, maybe I would keep the hair a little longer, but I don't know. It's a guitar channel, so. Tips for intermediate level guitar players. Let me think. I would say if you really want to take your playing from intermediate to a higher level, the best thing to do is just learn all the notes on the fretboard of the major scale. Maybe that would be a good thing to do, like to just know all the positions. Like you can even learn it in the form of the 7 modes. Like you could be like, this is kind of Ionian, Dorian. You could go through it, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeonian, Locrian, and play each of the positions. Or you can simplify it and just say, just learn all the notes everywhere. Like, I would say that would be a great way to take your playing from intermediate to a much higher level. What kind of amp am I using? I'm just using a Boss Katana. It's got some decent little sounds on it. It's not too bad. Please play Thunderstruck. Yeah, people are. Sana says it's weird seeing you like this. Anyway, I feel like you're not the Luke I used to know. Just joking. Actually, it's nice. Yeah, thanks, Sana. Um, it'll take some getting used to, but I think with time, it'll become the norm. Lionel, appreciate the sub. Means a lot. First time seeing you, so I didn't know you had long hair. Yeah, if you watch my older videos, you'll see what my hair used to look like. I know all the notes in the fretboard, but when I'm improvising, I can't extend the scale across the fretboard. Okay, yeah, so that's awesome that you know that already. So I would say maybe the next thing to do is just figure out ways to connect the scales. Like, for example, here is the quote-unquote Ionian, I guess, if you want to think about it like that. And just figure out how to connect it to each subsequent scale. So and you don't necessarily have to do it with you don't have to hit each subsequent note. Sometimes you can do it with the pentatonic voicing. So you could be like, I just went all across the whole fretboard with the pentatonic. So you don't have to do it with just 3-note per string stuff. And you don't necessarily have to do it lightning fast either. You can do it slowly, obviously. All right, see you around, Lester. Let's see, what do you say? I have to head out, but it was good seeing you, bro. Keep up the awesome jamming and stay well. Yeah, you too, Lester. Appreciate you tuning in. That means a lot. Hey, Luke, do you listen to any In Flames? They're a melodic death metal band. No, I don't listen to them, but I can give them a listen. Maybe after the stream I can give them a listen. Welcome, Soldado. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Thanks for listening. Yeah, good to see you again, Short and Sassy. That was a metal riff I was working on um, for Jester Head Junkie. Um, I don't know if that's the kind of style of metal you like, but that's kind of what I was working on. Sounds like something cornered right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call the stream. It's almost been 2 hours. This has been fun though. I'll be streaming tomorrow as well. So be on the lookout for that. Probably around a similar time. But I'll catch you guys later. Peace.